Hello guys and welcome to my second series. It's a game called Offworld Trading Company. I'm going to start off this episode by just describing, just reading straight off the Steam page and telling you what it is. So, Offworld Trading Company is a real-time strategy game in which money, not firepower, is the player's weapon. Players lead their developing companies into cutthroat economic warfare against other companies looking to become the dominant economic power en masse. Loosely inspired by such classics as Mule, Offworld Trading Company forces players to make tough choices on what resources to acquire, what goods to build and sell, how to interact with the planet's thriving underworld, and when and what stocks to acquire. Players compete against up to 7 other AI or player-controlled companies. The game is won when one player ultimately acquires all the shares of their competitors, thereby wresting control of the entire planet's economy. So, this game, like it said, it's a real-time strategy game, and the objective is to buy out your opponents. You can do that in many ways, and I'm gonna assume this episode is gonna run quite long because I have played this game before, but I haven't played it in a long time, so this is gonna be kind of fresh for me as well. I think I've clocked over 200 hours on this game, but I played it like a year ago or something, and this game is still in early access, so updates are coming out fairly regularly. So I have missed out on quite a lot of things. So I think we're going to start by playing a single player game. I'm not ready to go into multiplayer. There are ranked games and there are lobby games where you can play without being ranked. But I'm guessing everybody's going to be playing ranked games. They implement the ELO system. So we're going to do a skirmish. And we're going to play on intern. We get various. This is a lower difficulty. In public games, everyone plays on manager. But just to kind of explain everything and make sure we're not rushing ourselves, just so we can get a clear point of view of the game. I'm going to start an intern because it gives us bonus, makes the game easier for us basically. I believe all the AI control players start on manager, and I'm not sure how to change that. So we're just going to leave it there. So we're going to get started. These are all the various map types you can do. Medium, you got loads. They're recommended for various size players. You can play up to 2 to 8 player games. Random map type, we don't mind that. Preset. I believe each particular map contains more or less of various resources, so I'm going to keep it at default. A map seed, if you like the particular map you can reload it over and over again. Game rules, we're going to stick with standard to keep things simple, so we're just going to play the game. Let's just wait for the game to load. It loads a lot quicker than what I remember, so we're going to start off here. This is our in-game interface. On the left hand side here, we have the various resources being available to be acquired in the game, and we have the current price of each item down here. When we actually start playing, we're going to see a column here which says how much we are currently mining them at, and we're going to see a column here which tells us how much we own of that particular product. This is the landscape of this particular map. The grayed out areas over I think the blacked out areas like this state that you cannot go beyond this point, so we just have a map which is confined to this square. That's the borders. We can't zoom out any further. These are the various classes available in the game. Each one has their perks. We're going to start off with expansive this game because each one requires different resources and stuff like that to get through the game. This is the value of every company at the moment. So I'm Zyrex in this particular game. Even though the channel's called Terrible Door, inconsistencies will occur. That's fine. I might change that. Okay, so here it says our company is worth $13. I believe it's done in thousands, so our company for one stock is actually worth 13,000. And these guys are worth 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. The way the game works is the more money and resources you have and the less debt you have, the more your company's worth. So it goes to show that the quicker you can get your company set up, the better it is. Now the goal is to buy all the stocks of your opponent's companies. Now they're able to buy stocks into mine, and that's how you get kicked out of the game. And oh yeah, here you go. So currently $10, 10,000. I believe that's just a kind of silly way of portraying it, but whatever. That's no big deal. And here it'll show where our debt is, and this is how much money we're gonna have. So you can see in this little highlighted area here, it's different from the rest of the map. All of this grayed out bit is currently engulfed in the fog of war, meaning we cannot see what is under there. And that is because there are resources under here in various areas across the map in various quantities. Now, when you first lay down your building, like expansive, robotic, scavenger, or scientific, now each of these are going to require different resources, and you want to place your little home or colony, that's the word they call it again, colony, in a place which makes it easier for you to gather your own particular resources. So we're going to resume the game, and you're going to see that we can slowly reveal various parts of the map. Now I know that expansive requires water, and we can see a riverbed here. So we're going to slowly work towards the riverbed, and we've got these things. These are currently undiscovered resources. So if I just click there, we can see water has been found. This is the icon for water, and that's what it looks like over there. And then here we have some carbon. Now expansive doesn't really take carbon, so it's not an important resource for us. But we need steel, and to make steel we need iron, but it won't let me show you how to properly validate that. Okay, so we're just gonna keep revealing areas of the map, because the idea is to get a perfect place for your colony, so you get advantage over your opponents. So like one of the opponents, Paulo Rubina, is an AI control player. His AI told him this was a good place for his build, and he's laid down expansive, and I was literally just gonna pick this place. So thanks guys, it's all your fault. Okay, so let's move on. Let's find a new place. Let's try and find somewhere which we can get a good thing going. We're looking for a large deposit of iron, so we can gather resources quickly. Now one mechanic, oh, we got some iron over here. I think this might be the best place available to us right now, so I'm gonna pick here. Now the problem is it's a very hilly and rocky place, so we can't actually lay down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay down near the water, and I'm gonna explain why in a bit, and we're gonna get the resources from over there. So when you lay on top of resources, you get those resources and they're no longer mineable. So you can strategically place your thing down to get as many of the resources as possible, which would then limit other people's ability to get these resources. So if your colony didn't require water, you could strategically lay down on all the water and prevent other people who need water in the game being able to get it. So you can see that there's a timer on these pieces, I guess, materials, and that just stops other players from stealing what I've claimed. So I'm gonna lay down a miner for the water there and there, and I'm gonna construct a metal mine. This is gonna allow me to get the iron from over here. So you can see this is the little guy who's gonna send the thing over to build the build the iron mine. And ideally you want three cube stacks. That just shows you get medium, high, and low, medium, high of resources mineable. It's basically just 2 squares high, like that one. So we're currently mining, and I want to set up a steel. Yeah, here we go. You can see it consumes power and iron. So I'm going to lay down some steel, and then this guy is currently getting me iron. You can see in the little progress bar, once it gets 20, it's going to ship it across. Now the reason why I wanted to place it down here is because iron is quite important for our build. So being close to iron would meant that less shipping, but also water is important, so that was the next good thing. And our colony gets a bonus in the sense, it gets sort of a buff, if you will, where it requires less steel than the other builds. So honestly, the better place would have been to go near the water. I'm gonna lay down a power thing. We're gonna go for a wind turbine. And you can see these highlighted places just show you how powerful the wind is in that area. So here we've got 1.8, 1.8. I'm looking for a maxed out one, if possible. Like here's a good place. We've got 1.2 and we've got two 1.8, 1.08s. So I'm going to lay down power there. You can see we're getting into debt, and that's because we're running on negative power and negative fuel. Sending your things to build, construct stuff, and mine stuff, and send it back requires fuel. So that's why that's going down. So every day, if you have any debt, you get 5% added onto your debt. So you can see how that might quickly spiral down. If you're not controlling your debt properly, you could end up just completely losing the game. So we've got a lot of water right now. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift sell a bunch of water, and you'll see the price go down. So now water is a pretty low quality resource, but I've got a lot of money now. So every little while you're going to be mining your resources, and you're going to be getting stuff. Now you can see here that I require aluminum, steel, and glass to upgrade my colony. And what upgrades allow you to do is they allow you to they give you claims per level, and you actually require more resources, but that's to balance things out, because getting claims means you can earn more money and get stronger in the game. So a claim is, you see this highlighted tile, that is what a claim is. I can claim this tile, this tile, this tile. It doesn't matter which tile I pick. Ideally, you want to pick a tile which gives you resources, such as these. Now once you claim a tile, an opponent cannot steal that tile at all. It is yours for the whole entirety of the game. But they can do things like destroy miners which you've got in that tile, which we'll talk about later. So I'm going to upgrade my thing, and we're going to get more claims. We've got 6 additional claims, which means we can set up 6 additional things to start mining. Now we can see that I require fuel, and we're not generating any fuel, so I'm going to lay down I'm going to construct an electrolysis reactor, which consumes aluminum and steel. Now, if you don't have the resource, the game allows you to pay for it in the amount it costs. So 37 per, 37 times 10 is $370. So I'm just going to pay for that. That's fine. Aluminum is not too important for us these quantities. But you can see with each upgrade, it's going to cost more and more of these resources. And aluminum is starting to get more and more expensive. So it is actually important. Did I do the right thing there? Yeah. It is important to get the aluminum going in a bit. Now, fuel. This is going to consume -1 water. We're currently generating 6.3 water per second. So we're fine on the water for now. But I also know this requires food. So we're going to need to get some food going as well. It requires also -1 food and power. -0.1 power. So I'm going to lay down some food. I get some food going. You know, engineers get tired and hungry. Oxygen is important too, but the electrolysis reactor, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, generates fuel and oxygen, so we're fine on that. Now we're going to run out of power in a bit, and power is actually quite expensive, so I'm going to invest more into power. And when you place the same type of thing next to each other, you get bonuses. So if I place it here, I'm going to get 50% bonus, and this is also going to get a bonus. So we're going to be generating a lot, like pretty much double the power. So now we're going to, what else do we need? Let's resume the game, and let's see what it's going to tell us we need. I'm going to speed it up a bit. This game can go on. It can be ended really quickly, and it can go really quick. Go for a really long time. So when you play multiplayer games and you're describing stuff like this, like you could just end up losing everything. Okay, so here's a perfect time to explain something. Now, as the game goes, sorry, I just hit my mic. As the game goes on, you get auctions which happen. Some auctions are confidential. Sorry. Some auctions are confidential, and some are not. You can get random auctions which let you claim an additional tile which costs money, and you just bid for it. So if I had 0 claims, but I had no way to, and let's say I made a mistake and I wasn't mining aluminum, and I didn't have enough money to buy the difference in the upgrade, I could bid on that claim, and this will always add to your debt. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can always bid on an auction. So right now it's called Sabotage Auction Circuit Overload. Circuit overloads will double the power consumptions of all affected buildings. So what this means is, if we can see that the electric reactor requires requires 0.3 power to run. Now running this or hitting a building with this will make it consume 0.6. So you can sabotage your opponents. And it's stuff like this which makes the game quite interesting in multiplayer. Now, I don't want to go too far ahead, but because this is artificial intelligence, I'm going to assume they're going to hit me, because I currently worth the most in the game because I have the most resources. Now, I think if I control... There's a way to show how much your resources are worth, but I can't see that right now. Okay, so currently we're running positive on everything, and we still have 3 claims to go. We're in a good situation right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down another food, get some more food going, and get some more oxygen and fuel going. And we still have 1 more claim. Now we can do a few things with this. Aluminum is going down in price. It was someone's currently selling their aluminum, so they're driving down the price right now, which is good for us. But I'm gonna have a look. Are there any big deposits of aluminum around? There really isn't. So I'm going to not build aluminum because we have zero debt right now. We're in a very good position. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start investing in glass. Apologies for that. I'm going to pause the recording right now because my dog is being very rude. So I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Complete false alarm. My dog is just a liar. Okay, let's get back to this. We had another auction which popped up. Now this auction is about something which I haven't explained yet, and it's called patents. Now patents allow you to gain various advances in resource gathering, power consumption, or anything like that. So this particular one contains the pleasure dome thingy. The pleasure dome. Wait, is it even a patent? Oh no, this isn't a patent. My bad. Okay, let's take that back. This is not a patent. Don't worry about that. I'll explain that in the future. What this is a pleasure dome. It's right here. Now, what you're getting with this is you're getting a claim, but it contains a pleasure dome. Pleasure domes, consider it like a party place for your thing, which generates additional income. Now when you get this, it will generate $88, and it currently costs roughly around $2,380 to make. We're currently got steel working up over here, so we're not going to really consider that. But steel does cost quite a bit right now. It's $102 per ingot, and it requires 30. So this is obviously going to be a lot of money. I'm not going to do the maths. So I'm not going to really bid too high for this, but if I can get it for fairly cheap, I'm going to get it. So I'm going to resume the game. I'm going to set a limit. Oh, maybe I'm going to get it for 7,000. If I get it for 7,000, that's fine. Again, we have zero debt anyway. We're in a really good position in the game. So now we've got this. So we're getting plus $114 per second. So getting money, and you can see it's paying off our debt anyway. It's paying for itself. Now it says it was defended, so I'm guessing someone tried to attack that. So what you can do is you can purchase various things down here in the black market, but I'm gonna go over that a bit later in the game because that adds a bit of complications. Oh, we got a solar flare. So we've got 3 different power generators. You've got a geothermal plant, a wind turbine, and a solar panel. Solar panels only work in the daytime. There is day and night cycles. You can see the time right here. And in daytime it generates the most, in the nighttime it doesn't. But you get various events like a solar flare or a I think they call it dust storms in this game. And basically it'll give your method of power a boost temporarily. You can see event solar flare here. So right now, we got another auction, but you're getting it for the iron. Where is it? Should we get it? We really don't need it, so I'm gonna ignore this auction. We've got a fair amount of iron, and we got some boosts over here, so if we do need it, we can just go here. But as I was saying, I want to start getting some glass going. Glass usually does get expensive. That's just from prior experience, so it might not get expensive now. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to start getting some silicone going. So I'm going to mine it over there. Also, one thing to mention is that it's nighttime now. And our wind turbines are still going to be going well and good. Like you can see it here. We're getting plus 1.62 from this one and 1.8 from that one. So we're getting good power anyway. So one thing we can do is we can start investing in people. So we can for 10,000 per, we can buy this guy. Well, you can see we got a highlight thing that just signifies that I now own this stock. Now I'm gonna buy pretty much all my monies into him. Now what this means is I can do a few things with this. I can either keep my shares in him, and as you can see he's slowly getting worth more and more, and that means I could sell my stocks in him and get profit off of it, or I could eventually buy him out. There's a bit of confusion here because from what I remember I had to buy out an entire company, but I think it's changed. If not, that's good. So I now own 5,000 shares of this guy, and I can keep on buying him out. I'm earning money like crazy right now, and we're in a very good position. We have so much water, and it's currently worth a lot. So if I just sell 100 of it, we're gonna get a crap ton of money. I'm just gonna keep selling. So there we go. Now drive it down to nothingness, and I can buy him out now. So I'm gonna buy him out. What? Yeah. What happened there? Okay. Did I buy him out? Did I not? I'm confused because things have changed, so I'm gonna keep investing in him. Maybe this is mine now. I think this is mine. I'm pretty sure this is mine. I hope it's mine. See, someone just attacked me now, and they used this, a power surge. Power surges rip through buildings connected to each other and will disable them for a period of time. It would be totally mean to do a power surge on the edge of a long trail of buildings. Totally. So the way a power surge works is, so you can see this guy, he has a bunch of things lined up. Now I'm going to do it. I bought a power surge. You can only buy items from the black market once every minute. So I'm going to buy a power surge, and then I'm going to activate it on this chain. What? Are these not buildings? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to activate it here. Now what's going to happen is it's going to go all the way down the line. I hope. Wait, what? Maybe this is not actually a building. This is like an in-game thing, which sort of monitors everything which is going on. This is something which I can't do anything to. That was just me being a bit silly. So let's just ignore that bit. Okay. I'm gonna buy one more stock into this guy. I now completely own this guy, and I believe he's part of me. So any resources he's getting should be coming to me if I remember correctly. Going to move the camera to the HQ. But from what I remember before was once I owned somebody, I could upgrade him, get all the claims from him and all that stuff. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe things have changed, but we're going to upgrade our thing now because we're pretty far ahead. Let's get more steel going because we're lagging behind on that. Oh, patent laboratory. View plot. How much does it cost? We can just buy it. I'm not going to spend 14,000 on that. So you can see how much fuel is worth now. I think we're in a very good position right now. I'm going to start building a patent laboratory, and we're going to discuss what that allows us to do in just 1 minute once it's built. You can see how long things take to build in this little corner. Okay. What did I just do? I built a new fuel thing. So I'm going to buff the water going. We've got 2 waters there, so we're going to get a trio of water going there. just to keep on top of things, because if we build another one of our food sources, food, fuel, and oxygen are currently worth so much right now. That is like what's separate. I'm gonna buy these shares into him. Oh, this guy is worth nothing. He's got, okay, we can just buy him out. He is now ours. He probably went so far into debt that he just couldn't sustain himself, and he just spiraled out of control. Now all we're really facing right now is this guy. If we can buy this guy out, which I'm pretty sure we can, if we look here, I currently have 2.1 million in assets, and this guy is worth 1.5 million. I can win the game right now by selling everything I own. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell everything I own. I did that by doing Control Shift down. And I sold, oh, maybe I didn't have a million. I have 750k worth of resources. But that's excluding all my like built up things and stuff like that. I'm going to buy them out. And we won the game. I hope that was a good introduction to the game, and I hope it wasn't, I didn't get too over the top with explanations and rambling and explaining things which people just didn't really need to explaining. I hope everything was clear and you kind of got a feel of how the game went. Now the game can get really exciting when you're against actual people, because you can get attacked from the very early on in the game and all sorts of crazy stuff can happen. So if you liked this video, please like it. If you want to see more of this game, I will be playing more of this game. I do enjoy it. Please subscribe. Once I've explained all the thingies, the scientific, robotic, scavenger, and we've just done expansive, we'll do some multiplayer games and we'll get that going. And if people want, we can do the campaign. But as you can see, playing against AI really isn't that difficult. But we were playing with an advantage, so that might be why. You can see here, like starting money. I started with 8,000. These guys all started with 2,000. See, you know that pleasure dome which we bidded on here. In the end, that earned 101,000 for us. So that was really, really worth it. Well, I'm just seeing if there's anything which I could explain from here. I mean, in the real world game, if I can find what I'm looking for, I can't really see it. I mean, you can see here, we only got charged 390 interest in the entire game. Whereas at the end, you saw where I just bought out that guy, and like he was worth like 1,000 per stock. He got himself into 184,000 interest. That's not even debt. That's just interest. So you can see how debt can go spiraling out of control and just completely destroy you. We're very on top of our debt in the game. We only ended on minus 1,600, whereas this guy ended on minus 300,000. So these guys pretty much did well. I find in my previous experience of the game, if you go over 150,000 of debt, usually if you're not really good at the game, you will lose. You will get bought out by somebody sooner or later. So, as I was saying, guys, if you liked the game, like and subscribe. If you didn't, dislike, it's fine. It gives me an idea of what you guys want. If you have any suggestions or games to play, put them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to take a look at them. And we'll try and get some quicker gameplay going in the next episode. I'm not sure how long this episode ran on for, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys. Have a good day.